Hello everyone, this is Adnan with Canvas Trending Videos. This video is about Exchange Server 2010. This is part 3. There is part 1 with Exchange Server 2010 installation. Second video was exploring Exchange, and in this video we're gonna go deep down. We're gonna go deep down into Exchange databases, mailboxes, and basically we're going to go through the following items. We already explored Exchange console. Secondly, we're going to understand the mailbox server role, review management option related to mailboxes, go through MRM, address list, overall ESC database, how does it work, where is it sitting, and how to mount and dismount databases, what is database maintenance. So let's get started. Now this is our environment. In my environment I have 3 Exchange servers. So the first one is this. So the first one, first Exchange server is a DC, as we already know. Second is just a Exchange server, and it is a mailbox server role. So as we can see, if we go down into EMC and see server configuration, my first server is typical install hub transport cache and mailbox, which is this one. Second one is just a mailbox server, and third one again a typical install. So meaning we have 2 caches, 2 hubs, 2 mail and 3 mailbox servers in this. So let's get started here. This is Exchange 3, Exchange 2, Exchange 1. This is my client where I have Outlook. For later on within the series, we're gonna connect this complete organization with this another independent organization. We're gonna do the mail flow. That will be in future videos. So for now, Exchange EMC. Now within EMC is divided into 3 major consoles here. Organization configuration, server, recipient configuration. This area is all about organization. So all changes that we do in this area will affect the complete Exchange organization. Here we can do individual server changes. So if I go to mailbox, I can see individual servers. Here it's loading. Whereas the third area is recipient configuration. In this you see so everything related to mailboxes, users, and their settings. So again, going back into mailbox under server configuration, I can see servers, and I can select individual server and see what databases are sitting on them. Now first of all, let's start with and then again cache server based configuration, and in recipient mailbox configuration. So later on we're going to go into this, but now let's quickly go through each and every option within Exchange. Okay, so in the last video we created 2 users. We did a test of basic mail flow. If your mail is flowing in between internally, it means that your Exchange is working fine. Now let's quickly go through Exchange configuration and options here. So Exchange configuration, first of all, this is Exchange configuration. It has 2 tabs here. So if you have other organization, Exchange organizations connected to other organization, that you would see this here, or if it has a federation trust. So for now they are empty. We'll leave them empty at the moment. Your main area of work under organization will be mailbox. Within mailbox I can see that I have 4 databases here. So first, for database management, shows us 4 databases, and there are, if I sort it by server, I have 2 databases on Exchange Server 1 and 1 database each on the other 2 servers. Now with databases, we must remember that these are mailbox databases. They have mailboxes in them for individual users. So these are very, very important databases. Later on we're gonna have to provide high availability for these databases. In order to provide high availability for these databases, we have second option under mailbox that is known as database availability group. Database availability groups are used to provide high availability for these databases, and in this what happens is it is a cluster based option. We create multiple copies of one database. There will be one active copy, and all other copies of databases will be inactive. In other words, you can say active and all other copies will be passive. So we're gonna do that here. I'm gonna have a separate video on how to configure DAG, how to take advantage of high availability here. Next one, under mailbox, there are sharing policies. Now this sharing policy is mostly related to FreeBusy information, calendaring information. It's a policy for default sharing. That how do you want to share your calendar option or FreeBusy information. Now in Exchange, FreeBusy information is connected to calendar, the appointments, users appointment and everything. We're gonna keep it default for now, and later on we're gonna check this out. Then we have address lists under mailboxes. Now while going through this, we should remember that we're under organization configuration, and whatever changes you do, it will affect your complete Exchange organization. Now in this you have address list. So these are default address list. What is the address list? Address list is just a list of recipients, so that when somebody sends an email to someone, you can find them here in this address list. In real world, we call it a telephone directory. We used to use telephone directories. Nowadays with mobiles, we don't have them anymore, but basically address list is right here. So if I go to my client here, and if I go to home screen, and here I should find address list right here. Where is the address list? So file, let me open a new email. So what's going wrong with this? Home, and create a new email. Once you create a new email, right here is your address book, this one. So once you click here, this is whatever you see here, basically here, these are all your address lists. So where you have all address list, all contacts, all groups, all rooms, all users, marketing, public folder, basically this is what you see here in address list. If you need to create more address list, all you need to do is you can right click here and you can say new address list, and within this let's create an address list for finance department. So this is address list or DPT. I'm going to create an address list for finance department, and then it is saying that select recipient container to apply this filter. Now you're creating an address list for a finance department. How do you know which recipient should be part of finance department? Guys, for that we need to connect this with the finance OU. So in Active Directory, let's go here. Let's say you have a finance department, and there are some users in finance department. Let's say I do have marketing OU, and here I can say I can create a new OU called finance. And let's say in this I have few users here. So let me create a new user here called Ali Shah, and user ID A Shah, and here let's create a password, a standard password that we use in our labs. P capital, password 1. I would uncheck this option. Next, done. So I have a user in finance. Now for this department, let's say in this department there are 500 users. and altogether in your domain there are 5,000 users. So if you want to locate finance users, if you don't have this address list, then you'll have to find out among 5,000 users. But in this, to better organize them, we'll move all finance department user in this OU. This is one way of doing it. The second way of doing it, that if you go to this users property and you go to organization, in department, I'm gonna write the department name as well. We can use this department value for a address list as well. So for now we'll just work with so it's select recipient. So I'm gonna say all the users that exist under finance department should be in this address list. Next, and here if you have, just like I said, if you don't want to go with this option, so let's say you don't want to go with this option, this was, and you just want to, and you're saying no, in this address list add all users from this domain, and right here you can say, okay, from those users just select people with finance, with the value, with the name finance in their department attribute. So this will be this will be an address just for those users. Now just to preview what will be in this address list, you can preview, and for now it's not populating because we just made that change, so we might need to cancel this one time and then go back to ADUC. Here let's see, let's again check organization. I have finance in it, and then go here, try again, create a new address list. I'm gonna say finance DPT, finance department, and next. Here if I go just next, it will work, so it's not connected to anything here, but I can go right here and say, okay, so if any user has the word finance in their department, that should be added. Now let's see, still not populated, might take few minutes. So in this way, so at this point we'll just add finance. We'll just say any recipient who has the word department, and we're gonna check that out later again. So once this is done, you just click next, and new. Now new address list is created. Now to verify if this address list is available in our address list, so we can go to the client here, and for now I don't see it here. I'm going to close this, open this again, and right here this address list is not yet populated, and so we'll give it a few moments here. So and this address list will definitely appear within this location. Let's try one more time, and let's say finance. So in address book should have it here. It's not yet. Let's try from the same machine and log into Outlook Web Access. Guys, this is Exchange and Active Directory working together, so sometimes it might be a bit slow to populate all the changes that you're doing in the environment, so just be patient. Here I'm gonna log in. To Outlook Web Access, I'm gonna say new, and in new I'm gonna check address. So this is the address book. Within the address book, let's see, what do I have? This is my address book, and I have default address list, show other address list. If I can see, this one is right here. So this is the address list we created, and in this address list for now nobody is listed, and I would say just give it some time and you will see some people listed in this address address in this department, in this address list based on the department finance. So this is what the address list is. I would say just create, as an example, just create 2 more address lists, one for HR, one for IT department. So this is your lab. So I would say, if you're watching this video, I would say create 2 address lists. 2 address lists. One's called ITDPT, IT department. 2 address list. One is ITDPT, and second one, and for ITDPT add 2 users. So let's say user 1, and so create these users in Active Directory. User 2, and second address list will be HRDPT DEPT, and create user 3 and user 4. And in their department, in users department value, just write DEPT in department value. Don't forget to write ITDEPT, and so this one ITDEPT, the second one ITDEPT, this one IT HR department, and when you create an address list, within the address list, when you create an address list, mention these department names there. So this is a practice that you need to do if you're watching this video. So here, practice number 1. Practice. Now second thing, let's jump back to our EMC. So we were here on address list. Second one is retention policies. Now there are a number of retention policies that are by default there. We're not gonna make any changes here at the moment. Now these retention policies are just saying that when to clean up the delete. This is called delete and allow recovery. So here retention is saying that 1 month delete policy on personal folder, 1 month, 1 week, 1 year. These are ready-made retention policies that we can apply to different places. For example, here you have never delete and allow. Actually, not this one. Age of limit 1 week, 1 year. So I'm going to show you where these retention policies are applied, but these are basically to clean up your environment, that when to delete or allow. If you apply this policy, then every 30 days the deleted items, everything that is deleted and sitting in the deleted items within Outlook, it will be permanently deleted. If you apply this policy, so everything that will be sitting here, so if I show you in this folder, which is deleted items, so these all retention policies are for this place. So any items which are sitting here that are more than 30 days old, they'll be permanently deleted if you apply this policy. If you apply this, it will be per week, in a week they'll be deleted. If you apply this, they'll be kept and deleted for 1 year. So this is now, and then you have these retention policies as well. Now that is for only deleted items, whereas this one applies to recovery, and they are added with retention policies. Later on we're going to configure them. Guys, among address list, this is an address list that is available to all online users. Now for example, if this user here who's connected to OVA, as long as user is connected to OVA, they'll be able to see the address list, so they can go and see the address list. But guys, what if the user is offline? Now with OVA this is not possible. User cannot be connected if the user is not user cannot log into Outlook if user is not connected to internet or the server or the Exchange server. But whereas in Outlook, this is my Outlook. In Outlook, even if you're connected to your network or not, you can still open Outlook. And if you need to see the address list in as offline, you will be able to see that if you have some offline address book. So for now there is only one address book. There are two other that I made previously, but if this is your new environment, you will have only one offline address book. Main purpose of offline address book is if some user is not connected, then they should be able to see some address list. For example, if they're composing email, they should still be able to find users in Outlook, although they're not connected to the real environment. In order to create an offline address list, all you need to do is you can create new offline address list, and here let's say I'm gonna say here this is for finance, and here offline address book generation server, I'm gonna say this will be created on the same server, and then next and next. Actually before that, here it's saying that include default global addresses, or you can say no, add some special addresses, which is only this one. So you can say this address list should be added. So now this address list is created in offline, so this is available offline. But then later on I'm going to show you we need to attach them to the users who need to access it, who need to access them, or they will be attached to servers, Exchange servers. So basically in Mailbox under organization you have these different properties. Now most commonly used places is database management, where I can see my databases. So in the next video I'm going to show you what are these databases, how to work with these databases, and what do you need to know about these databases. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video.